The Fourth Way by P.D. Ouspensky, Chapter 10. And let me just remind you that the questions are always put forth by Ouspensky, and the answers are given by Gurdjieff. Question: is the full realization that we cannot do anything already a long step on the way to doing? Answer: sometimes the step is too long, because every idea prolonged too far becomes its own opposite. So if you persuade yourself too seriously that you can do nothing, you will find that you really can do nothing. It is a question of relativity. As I said, not being able to do refers to people without any possibility of schoolwork. Question: I think I need a teacher. I find that I can do nothing by myself. Answer: a teacher cannot do anything for you. You are given certain tasks and you have to do them. It is always like that. Instead of trying to do, try not to do. You learn to do first by learning not to do. You are trying to do things that you consider desirable. Try the other way around. Try not to do things that are undesirable. You see, this self-evolution is not obligatory. It's not mechanical. There is no guarantee. It depends on effort. People often ask, how is it that I've been working so many years and I have no experience of higher centers yet? And I ask them, have you really been working so many years? One counts from the time that one has heard these ideas, but one does not try to calculate how much one actually worked, how many days, how many hours or minutes in each day. If one could make this calculation, one would see that there is no reason to expect any results yet, although one may have heard about it a long time ago. Question: if we are machines, how can we change our being? Answer: we cannot wait until we change. There is one very important principle in this work. You never have to work in accordance with your force, but always beyond your force. This is a permanent principle. In the work, you always have to do more than you can do. Only then can you change. If you only do what is possible, you will remain where you are. One has to do the impossible. You must not take the word impossible on too big a scale, but even a little means much. This is different from life. In life, you only do what is possible. It is necessary to put more energy into things, into self-study, self-observation, self-remembering, and all that. And in order to put more energy into your work, it is necessary to find where it is being spent. You awake every morning with a certain amount of energy. It may be spent in different ways. A certain amount is necessary for self-remembering, studying of the system, and so on. But if you spend this energy on other things, nothing remains for that. This is really the chief point. Trying to calculate every morning how much energy you intend to put into the work in comparison with other things, you will see that even in elementary things, simply in relation to time, you give very little to the work, if you give any at all, and all the rest is given to quite useless things. It is good if they are pleasant things, but in most cases, they are not even pleasant. Lack of calculation, lack of these elementary statistics, is the reason we do not understand why, with all our best intentions and best decisions, in the end, we can do nothing. How can we do anything if we do not give any energy or time to it? If you want to learn a language, you must learn a certain number of words every day, give some time to the study of grammar and so on. If you want to learn Russian and begin by learning 5 words a day. I guarantee that you will never learn it. But if you learn 200 words a day, in a few months you will understand Russian. It all depends on elementary statistics. In every kind of work or study, there is a certain standard. If you give it a certain amount of energy and time, but just not enough, you will have no results. You will only turn round and remain approximately at the same place. Question. I am one of those people who can only learn 5 words a day, but I've always taken comfort in the thought that it is bound to work in the end. Answer. No. It is not necessary. No, it is necessary to put more pressure into it. Notice that even in conversations here, only few people speak. The others only want to listen. For it is more peaceful, more comfortable. Then you do not follow up thoughts. You give very, very many, but most of them do not touch. It is laziness of mind, general laziness. This laziness must be overcome. You cannot get anything by being lazy or by doing one thing and leaving everything else. As it is, I give you one line. You miss it. I give you another line. You miss that too. So in the end, we have only missed lines. As I said, every kind of work, every kind of state needs a certain definite minimum effort and minimum time given to it. And the work we are trying to do needs more than many other things if we want to get even perceptible results. What does it mean to work practically? It means to work not only on intellect, but also on emotions and on will. Work on intellect means thinking in a new way, creating new points of view, destroying illusions. Work on emotions means not expressing negative emotions, not identifying, not considering, and later on also work on the emotions themselves. But what does work on will mean? But what does work on will mean? It means work on one's actions. First, you must ask yourselves, what is will in men? Number 1, 2, and 3. It is the resultant of desires. Will is the line of combined desires. And as our desires constantly change, we have no permanent line. So ordinary will depends on desires, and we can have many desires going on in different directions. The line constructed out of all these angles is the resultant. This is our will. It may go in one direction one day and in another direction another day, and we think it is straight. So, it is really the resultant of our blindness. We have to ask ourselves on what the will of man number 7 could be based. It must be based on full consciousness, and this implies knowledge and understanding connected with objective consciousness and a permanent I. So 3 things are necessary: knowledge, consciousness, and a permanent I. Only those people who have these 3 things can have real will, and that means a will that is independent of desires or anything else. Question. You said no will was possible for us? Answer. Will is a relative term. There are different wills on different levels. A mechanical man who never thinks of development has only a multitude of small wills that are all quite mechanical. He has a certain desire, One side of him wants to do something, and another side is afraid that he will be punished if he does it. A struggle ensues between the different tendencies, and the result of this struggle we call will. Question. Then in order to develop will, one must go against desires? Answer. First of all, you must become one. You are many, and you have hundreds of eyes and hundreds of wills. And if you want to develop an independent will, you must become one and conscious. Will depends on unity and consciousness. Question. If we are determined to do something we do not like and manage to do it, are we not using will? Answer. It may be fear. Perhaps you're afraid not to do it. Or you may expect some reward, either in this life or in the next. Many things are possible. Generally, we are afraid of something, or we expect some kind of benefit from it. As a rule, the term will is used in a relative sense. But when we speak of will, we speak of a certain level. Before we can speak of the possibility of will, we must at least have a certain point which we can control. Which can control the rest. Let me read that sentence again. Before we can speak of the possibility of will, we must at least have a certain point which can control the rest. Will means liberation from mechanical state. Question. Can useful unity be obtained by engrossment in some routine work that employs the majority of eyes? Answer. It cannot be called full unity. It is only relative unity, the unity of the eyes employed in this work. One can train oneself very much by work of this kind, but it cannot touch the whole of you. There is no work that can touch the whole. It will always be only a small part of you.